Hey guys, it's that time again, Friday happy hour, and we're into spring. We've had some great weather here. It's coming up on Easter this weekend, and spring means one thing, it's brunch season. We got Easter, Mother's Day, showers, christenings, whatever you got, there's going to be a brunch related to it. And when I think of brunch, I think of sparkling wine. Now, the first thing I have to tell you, everybody says, oh, let's have some champagne. Well, you may or may not know this, a lot of you do, but not all sparkling wine is champagne. Champagne is like a place in France where certain sparkling wine comes from. But whether you drink champagne from France, spumante, prosecco, or just sparkling wine in the good old US of A, there's a lot of different ways you can drink it. When it comes to brunch, there's more to sparkling wine cocktails than just mimosas, but we're going to talk about those too. So I got a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. And the first thing I'm going to tell you is the proper way to open a bottle of sparkling wine. So whatever kind you have, you get the bottle and you put it down on the table, and you always hold your thumb around it because it's under pressure. So you just kind of want to keep an eye on that cork at all times because you don't know when it's going to decide to go, whether you help it or not. So as best as you can, keep it corked up and your thumb on it. Take the foil off. There's a little wire cage. You just untwist that. Take that off as well. And the thing about sparkling wine is you don't twist the cork. You hold the cork and you twist the bottle. And you do it slow. I mean, this is not, you're not christening a ship. You don't need the stuff to pop all over the place. And you want a very small pop. So you could hardly even hear that. But that's the way you want it to open. So, and then you just put it back in your ice bucket until you're ready for it. So the first drink I'm going to show you is, I'm just calling it a raspberry sparkler. It's kind of like, if you know what a Kir Royale is, you got creme de cassis, it's like a currant liqueur and champagne. So I'm going to kick it up with some raspberry liqueur, Chambord, and just how, you know, it's just however much you want. So I'm going to put about an ounce, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. It's not something that I'm going to worry about measuring. So I have that in there, and then I'm just going to top it off with some good old bubbly. And when you pour sparkling wine, whether you're making a cocktail like this or just pouring it, you don't want to pour it the whole way up because it's like, you know, it's like soda. It's going to fizz over. So, and I'm just going to garnish it with a little, any kind of berry you have. This happens to be strawberry. And when I'm garnishing with stuff like this, I actually like to use the frozen berry because, like I told you before, it keeps drink cold longer. So that is your nice raspberry sparkler. So the next drink I have for you is very similar. It's called I'm calling it anyway, a PEAR-CRAN bubbler. And how this goes is you need a little bit of pear nectar and any kind of, like, not weird, but not common nectars and juices like this. I find I can find them a lot in the Latin aisle of the grocery store. They have all kind of different nectars and juices of just about anything you could want. I have some pear, so I'm just going to put a little pear in there. And then about the same of cranberry juice. And this is actually something, if you wanted to, You could actually use like cranberry jelly, like you eat at the holidays, but you'd have to like muddle it around a little bit if you remember from the jam cocktail video. But that would work really well. And then again, just top it off with your sparkling wine. And then for this one, I'm going to garnish it with a little slice of pear. Just cut a piece of pear, and that is your nice pear cranberry bubbler. So the next one I'm calling a melon fizz. Now, when you're drinking sparkling wine, generally there's two kinds. We all know like the saucer type glass, it's actually called a coupe, and this is called a flute type glass. In my opinion, the flute is better because that captures the bubbles more. Like on an open coupe glass, the bubbles just dissipate. But that being said, use whatever glass you have. I'm using a good old, a small wine glass. It's kind of together, so it's going to hold the bubbles. And this one, on the melon fizz, I'm going to a base of a little melon liqueur. Again, maybe an ounce or so. And then, just like the others, this is going to be, I'm going to repeat myself a lot, top it with the sparkling wine. And then I'm going to garnish this with a couple melon balls. You could put them right in. I'm going to put a couple right in. You could also park one right on the side, and that is your sparkling melon fizz. The next one is kind of a classic, but I do it a little different. And this is called a Bellini. And a Bellini originated in Italy. All that a Bellini is peach puree. Again, I'm using peach nectar. A little bit in the glass. I'm gonna punch mine up with just a splash of peach schnapps or peach liqueur, peach brandy, whatever you have. And the same old tune, fill it up with sparkling wine. And again on this one, I'm just going to put a little piece of frozen peach in there. And that is your peach Bellini. And lastly, just to be a bit of a traditionalist, I'll make you a mimosa. But we're going to do a mimosa 3 ways. First, you can do it the traditional way with just some orange juice. But why would you want to do just orange juice when you can experiment, do something else? So what I did, rather than just have my orange juice, I froze my orange juice. You go get a couple of those silicone ice trays. They make all kind of different shapes. Freeze up your orange juice. If you're having a brunch, do it a couple days ahead, and you'll have some interesting shaped orange juice. But then, instead of just orange juice, how about some orange sherbet? Again, a couple days before, I just scooped it out with a melon baller, put it on a tray, stuck it in the freezer so they firm up a little bit. And it's kind of like a ice cream soda for adults. So again, you just chop each one with your sparkling wine, whether you're using sparkling wine, champagne, prosecco, that one's going over, Asti, doesn't matter. You're going to have a great brunch however you decide to do it. But Mimosas are great, but I encourage you to try something different the next time you're having a brunch. Try one of these, two of these. You'll enjoy them, your guests will enjoy them. And the great thing about, the ice cube and the sherbet, not only does it add a great interest to your drink, but it keeps the drink cold. So that's it for this one, guys. If you haven't already, please go below, hit that subscribe button. If you're going to drink, drink responsibly. Until I see you next time, remember, take care of yourself and your home. I'll see you soon.